I started my first YouTube channel at 52, and then at 54, I did something that most people wouldn't expect. I started over, and I built another one. And having done this twice, there are 6 things I would do differently if I was starting again today. And number 1 would have saved me at least a year or 2 of spinning my wheels. So if you're over 40 and thinking about starting a YouTube channel, or maybe you've already started and it's just not going anywhere yet, this is the video that I wish I'd had way back then 3 years ago. Hey, I'm Dee Dee, and I help people over 40 use YouTube to grow an audience and build a business around what they already know. And I've built 2 monetized channels, and what I've learned is that the real opportunity is so much bigger than just AdSense. So let's start with the biggest thing that I would do differently. Number 1, I would choose a person before I chose a niche. Because everybody tells you to pick a niche first, whether it's cooking or fitness, finance, whatever it is. And I did that too, and it left me stuck because when I was thinking about the type of channel I'd like to have, I was thinking in topics instead of the person that would be watching the video, instead of that one real person. And I can see this so clearly now from before I ever started my first channel. I was trying to create videos around what I wanted to make instead of who I would be making them for. So if I started over here, I'd get very specific about who I'm talking to before I ever landed on a topic. So let's say you're in the fitness space. You're not just talking to women who want to get in shape. You're talking to a 50-year-old woman who sits at her desk all day. She's gained weight over the last few years, and she just wants to feel stronger and have more energy without spending hours at the gym. Now that's one very specific person. And now this way, you know what to make videos about. You'd make short workouts, maybe strength training after 50. What do you do if your knees hurt? And how to start when you're out of shape, and how to stay consistent when you're busy. That one person and their problems gives you the topics. A broad niche doesn't do that. But even after I got clear on that, I still wasted almost 2 years on something that had nothing at all to do with content. Number 2, I'd build a business before I needed it. Because I treated YouTube like a hobby for way too long. And then I panicked about money later and tried to figure out all of the income streams overnight. But if I started over, I'd think about the business model from video 1, not obsessing over it though, just asking early, how does this channel eventually make money? AdSense, whether it's a course, coaching, a community, you don't need to answer on day 1. But you need to be asking that question to yourself. And you need to be planning for it, not scrambling for it at month 10. Position yourself early to get the leads into your business. This is probably one of the biggest lessons I learned from my first channel. I got the subscribers. I got monetized. I was making AdSense money. It was making good money. And on paper, you could look at it and say, it's all working. But I hadn't built much underneath it. I wasn't building an email list. I wasn't creating my own offers. I wasn't thinking about where I wanted those viewers to go next. And that's a very different thing from building a business. So when I started this channel, I looked at it differently. I wasn't just asking, how do I get more views? I started asking, what am I building with those views? And that mind shift really mattered. But it didn't fix this habit that was actually keeping me from publishing videos, which I'll talk about next. But before we get into number 3, if you're just starting on YouTube, I made a YouTube starter guide that will walk you through every single step of getting started. It's free and it's linked in the description below. Now, number 3, I'd stop studying YouTube and start doing YouTube. And this one out there is for all of you researchers. And I know because I am one. I am a chronic learner. I've watched hours of how to start a YouTube channel, videos and tons of notes, and I didn't publish anything for months. So if I started over, I'd give myself a real limit. Learn enough to take the first step and then the next one, and then take it. You learn 10 times faster from publishing that one video than from watching 50 tutorials about the perfect video. Because learning, while it feels like you're being very productive, it doesn't equal progress. And if you're a learner like me, pick one person to learn from, not 10. This is really going to help you. And once I started posting videos, a new problem popped up. And it was about how I was making the videos, not whether I was making them. And that's number 4. I'd make much simpler videos because my early videos had too many cuts, too much editing, way too much pressure on the production value, and it was too much pressure on me. It took me days to edit and stress to get it all done, and I'd cut out every pause, I'd add B-roll, I'd add graphics, I'd fix every little thing I didn't like. I thought better editing meant better videos, but it didn't. It just really meant more work, and more work means slower output, and more excuses to not post, and more technology hiccups than you can ever imagine that comes along with all of that. So if I started over, I'd film with my phone, minimal editing, and let the message carry the video instead of the polish. A simple video process that you can keep repeating is going to beat a complicated video that'll wear you out. And simplifying the videos helped me so much, but it didn't fix a deeper problem with what I was actually saying in them. So number 5, I would teach from experience instead of just giving advice. Because early on, once I felt like I had exhausted all of my knowledge, I repeated a lot of stuff I'd seen and heard other creators do and say. And it sounded fine, and it was all true, but it really didn't sound like me. And it definitely didn't help anybody the way my own actual experience did. But really, I knew more than I thought I did, and so do you. So if I started over again today, I'd talk about what I actually tried, what failed, what worked. I would talk about the real numbers and real timelines. That's the content that gets people to trust you and stay. Nobody needs another recycled tip that they've already heard 10 times. They need somebody who's actually done the thing. And this is especially important if you're starting later in life. You may think you don't know enough about YouTube to teach anything, and maybe you don't. But you have lived a whole life before YouTube. You've been doing something for these last 20, 30 years. You've built a career, maybe you've raised a family, you've learned skills, maybe you ran a business, survived some stuff. You have figured some things out. And there are probably things that you know so well that you don't even realize that somebody else would find it valuable. And that's the stuff that I want you to bring to YouTube. But even once my content got better, there was still one thing that kept knocking me sideways every few months. Now this is important. I want you to listen up here. And that's number 6. I would stop letting one video flop change my whole strategy. I've posted videos that did great and videos that just landed with a thud. Early on, one bad video would send me into a spiral, and it would make me question my whole topic, my channel. Sometimes it would even make me question whether the decision to do this was even right. But I have this knack for getting back up, dusting myself off, and moving forward, knowing that YouTube is a long game. It is not a quick win. So if you're wondering why your channel isn't getting more views or doing as well as you thought, just remember that. Get up, dust yourself off, make another video, and move on. And if I started over, I would treat one flop as one data point, not a final verdict on my whole entire life's work. Some videos just don't work. And that's true for creators with 1 million subscribers too. If I'd have known that at the start, I could have saved myself so much unnecessary doubt and stress. I mean, I had a video that I spent days on, and when it came out, it got like 12 views in the first few hours. I mean, it eventually grew a little, but it's still one of the lowest performers on my channel. And I thought, OMG, my audience doesn't like me anymore. What did I say? What did I do wrong? Maybe my niche isn't working. Maybe I need to pivot. Maybe I need to change direction. But you know what? The very next video shot straight to the top. And I had to learn not to make permanent decisions based on temporary results. And you know, that's really why I'm still all in on YouTube. And if you're over 40 and you have something you know and something you teach, or maybe you have a business that you need people to discover, long form videos gives you room to actually show people what you want them to know. You're not fighting for 5 seconds of attention in a constantly scrolling feed. You're building a library of content that's going to keep bringing the right people to you for years to come. If you're just getting started, or you're a few months in and wondering why it feels harder than it should, you can watch this video next. It walks you through exactly where to begin, and maybe it'll help you get over the hump a little bit. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye!